All right, now we're doing 7Q string ends with. This is by Jay Hoffner, and 87% of the people like it. We're going to complete the solution so that it returns true if the first argument string is passed in, if the first argument string passed in ends with the second argument, also a string. All right, so we need this to equal whatever's at the end. So this returns true and this returns false. Awesome. So what we're going to need for this one to know is this type of operator. And it returns a string indicating the type of unevaluated operand. So we'll put like type of something and it'll come out one of these. And we're trying to find we're trying to see if it's anything but string. Because it's going to do an error if we don't do that. So first we're going to say if type of str equals string or type of ending equals string, we're going to, doesn't equal string and doesn't equal string. If these don't equal string, we're going to return false, just like that. All right, and now we're going to do an else if. And on this one, we're going to see if the string, if str is just an empty string, or if ending is just an empty string, we're going to return true, because that's just, because that's just logic. So we're going to say if str equals empty string or ending equals empty string, we're going to say return true. All right, now we can get to the actual guts of this thing. So now we'll say else, and we'll say else, and now we're going to first we're going to declare a variable. We're going to declare result, but it doesn't need to be anything because it's just going to end up being a Boolean. So we're just declaring it right there, and then we're going to say for, and then we're going to say let I equal ending dot length. All right, so it's going to be, we're going to be iterating backwards through this thing right here according to this one. We're going to be iterating backwards through both of them according to this one's length. All right, so I is going to be ending dot length, and then while I is greater than 0, we're going to say I minus minus. All right, and after that we're going to say if str at str.length minus I, minus the current index. So when it's 0, it's going to be the last character, and then so on. When it's 1, it's going to be the second to last character, whatnot. So, well, if this equals the same thing on the ending side, ending dot length minus I. So if those two things equal each other, we're going to return true. Return true. And then after that, we're going to do another. We're going to do an else, and we're just going to say return false. All right, and then after it returns false, because we already know it's false, like if this is A, and if this is C and this is E, we know exactly that that's already where it's at. We can just leave the program right there and break out of it. So now we're going to go 2 down under this for, outside of this for loop, and we're going to say return result. All right, and that should take care of business. Let's see what happens. And it does. Awesome. Let's attempt it. What is the deal? Oh. There we go. Let's see what happens. There we go. Attempt it. All right, that was the problem. All right, so there we go. Let's see, 4 milliseconds. Let's see if we can beat this with the concise syntax. All right, so 4 milliseconds. Let's turn this into const. Let's get this over here, do this, and turn all this into an arrow, all right? So I'm going to start on this line to save some space, and we're going to use this endsWith method, which determines whether a string ends with the characters of a specified string, returning true or false as appropriate. endsWith, hold on, str.endsWith ending. Hold on a second. Is this all right? 5 milliseconds. This is just slower anyway. All right, we're going back in time, back to this long one, and this thing works. Test it out. Attempt it. All right, submit it. That's the big timer right there. All right, let's go to My Solutions. Very much like this one. I'm going to say best practice on this one, and we'll see you next time.